Hello. The other day I received an email from Dr. Angela asking us to read books for kids, and all the books seem like little kids' books, so I decided to write my own here. It's called Winterhawk the Great and the Quest for Toilet Paper, a fiction based on the actual imagination and twisting of the truth of events that may or may not have happened to Dr. Mike. So here we go. A month ago, this seemed like a good idea. We thought it would be great to mummify our dad. We used a whole package of TP on him. We sure could use that now. Don't get me wrong, our dad is great. After all, he adopted my sister and me, a couple of Lakota kids from the res. The res, yes, that's what we Lakota kids call the reservations, where many Native Americans live. My name is Winterhawk. Native Americans have the greatest names. My sister, her name is Black Spotted Horse, but we call her Aubrey, her Christian name. My Christian name is Shepherd, but I like to be called Winterhawk because it's such a cool name. Dad is always doing stuff that is really, really fun. And then he tells us, don't tell mom. That pact held up for years until the shelter in place order from our governor. So many people in the world were getting sick, and we were doing our part to stop the spread. Our governor said there are 5 things we must do to keep safe. Hands, wash them. Elbow, sneeze and cough into it. Face, don't touch it. Feet, stay 6 feet from one another. Feel sick, stay home. But there were so many people not following the rules that the governor told us that we had to stay in our homes. One person at a time may leave to get provisions, food, medicine, and supplies. But the provision that has been unavailable, that's easy. It's toilet paper. Arr! People are crazy about TP. Last Tuesday, we ran out. Mom came storming in the house that morning saying, I think we need to call the police. Someone broke into our garage and stole our last package of toilet paper. It was time to confess. We had squandered that last pack. The next week was miserable. Mom put a trash can in the bathroom because anything but TP is not safe to flush. TP dissolves, other paper clogs. So we used whatever paper we had and put it in the trash can. Guess who had to empty that trash can? Winterhawk to the rescue. So we used tissue instead. When we ran out of that, we used newspaper. Our magazines are all online, so we started using paper towels. But wow, all of these are so uncomfortable. So I started using old socks, a pair of Holy Undies, and don't tell my sister, but I sacrificed one of her plush toys. I know that was wrong, but I was hurting. And then my sister, Aubrey, who is now learning how to play her keyboard, graduated from Go Tell Aunt Rhody to Hot Cross Buns. That was it. I couldn't take it anymore. Really? Hot Cross Buns? That's the worst song ever during a toilet paper shortage. The Chinese were the first to invent paper and the first to use it for the potty around 200 Common Era. Then 19th century inventor Joseph Gaetti created loose sheets of paper treated with aloe that became the first modern toilet paper. We always took toilet paper for granted. We pushed our carts to the paper products aisle and picked up a package and tossed it in with the other groceries. So when Dad saw empty shelves for the third day in a row, we started to panic. He went to the next store, same result. He tried every store in town. This was bad, especially since the newspaper seems to be getting thinner and thinner. There were no sports. They had to cancel most local events. With fewer stories to report, there was less paper available. So I had to go capture some TP for my family. I was officially on a quest for TP. It was Winterhawk the Great to the rescue. It seemed like a good idea, and my heart was in the right place. There is a porta potty in the park near my home. It had this little flimsy lock on the toilet paper roll. I took Dad's hacksaw, and after about 30 minutes of sawing and putting up with the smell, I had the lock off and had procured 2 perfectly good rolls of toilet paper. But when I opened the door, I was met by Officer Andrew. "Stop, you," he said. "What are you doing with that toilet paper?" "Oh, I brought it with me," I answered. "I always carry a spare or two." Okay, he wasn't buying it. To tell you the truth, I wasn't either. He drove me home, and needless to say, Mom and Dad were not happy. I was grounded to my room. Oh well, I stayed here most of the time, always, since I can't go out. But I don't dare say that out loud. Mom and Dad would not like me getting sassy. But do you think a person with a name like Winterhawk the Great would give up that easily? Oh no. Each day I could hear my folks outside my door. I knew that if I tried to go out that way, I was doomed. But I had a window that opens out a gable onto the roof. I could shimmy down the gutter and make my way somewhere else. And that's exactly what I did. But this time I had a better plan. I had $50 in my treasure box from my December birthday, which had not been long ago. I was supposed to buy Sargon 10, a great video game, but it was not released yet. So I went to the store and bought a $50 debit card. I found 36 rows of TP online for $45 with free 2-day delivery. I needed a debit card to pay for it. Success. When I told my mom about my quest, she forgave me for sneaking out again. 2 days passed. My app notification announced the package delivery. But when we looked, porch pirates had stolen our TP. It would have been awful, but we have a doorbell camera. And guess what? We were able to figure out who stole our TP. Believe it or not, it was the Bremenheimer Schmittenhausen family who owns half the town. They are the richest people in the whole state. The van that we saw on our doorbell camera video was parked right in front of their house. People were seen unloading our toilet paper into their garage. We took the video to the police department. The police got a warrant and searched the garage. Imagine their surprise when they found more than 20,000 packages of toilet paper. It seems that Miss Elizabeth, the matriarch of the family, started buying out every roll of TP she could find on the shelves. Then, when that ran out, she started stealing every roll she could find from garages, basements, and storage sheds. The whole town was relieved. We could all share, taking only what we needed. "Son, you truly are Winterhawk the Great," Dad said. "How?" I asked. I didn't really do anything. You bought the doorbell, not me. Without that video, we had nothing more than an empty porch. I was upset when you tried to steal TP, Dad explained. But you were trying to help the family, even though it was wrong how you did it. But then you were filled with true generosity. You spent your money you had for a video game to help the whole family. If you had not been generous with your money, we would have never caught the culprits. Then Aubrey spoke up. By the way, has anyone seen my stuffed unicorn named Scott? He was my extra soft plush toy. I haven't seen him in a while. I shrugged my shoulders with a pit in my stomach, but I was fairly sure she would never find out. 1 year later. Today marked 1 year since the government closed our town. Guess what? It opened again. People were still careful about shaking hands and hugging and such, but we gathered together and saw one another in person. One of the greatest things that happened since the reopening of our town was that people put down their devices and talked to one another. Kids played games in the parks, not on their phones, as they got their exercise. Most of the kids who finished high school during the shutdown came back for their graduation ceremony. We were having socials and dances and gathering in our gathering places around town. But this night was special. We gathered in the middle of town together and released sky lanterns. Then a group of young and old gathered on a makeshift stage and methodically plugged electricity into the speakers and instruments. There, prominently in front, was a steel drum. After a few moments and some tuning of instruments, a voice came across the speakers. Folks, we are handing out lyrics and would like you to sing along. The name of the song is Three Little Birds, but you probably know it as Bob Marley's Every Little Thing's Gonna Be All Right. The band started to play and a joyous noise erupted. People were singing together. I felt something I had never felt before. I had happy tears. I finally figured out what Mom meant when she told me, indeed, big boys do cry. So do real men. Mom calmed many tears for me when I was scared about people getting sick. At that moment, she cried with me, and so were a lot of others. We were safe. The end. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. And I can't wait to see you guys again.